So 7 line up in this Saturday's Irish Derby. Aidan O'Brien has won it for the past 6 years running. Nick, obviously Aidan O'Brien's got a really strong hand in this again. Camelot, Astrology, Imperial Monarch, and I know you fancy Imperial Monarch each way. You're quite a big fan of this horse.
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of this horse. I wish he'd been allowed to take his chance at Epsom. Still can't quite fathom why he wasn't. But he took his chance in the French Derby and was very, very unlucky. I mean, anyone who saw that race would have noticed that. He was held up. It was a massive field in France, and he got held up and got caught in the ruck. I thought Joseph O'Brien was going to pull him up at one stage because he had to go right to the back of the field. But instead, you know, Joseph's used his brain, I think, because he's pulled him out wide and he's actually given him a race and thought, well, I'm not going to win, but okay, let's open you out and see what you can do. And he passed horse after horse and actually finished 8th, not beaten far at all. Without the interference, I think he would have gone very close to winning. But the race might have actually taught the horse quite a lot. It might have grown up quite a bit because it was a bit of a rough and tumble affair. We've already seen Most Improved, who had a similar run through to Imperial Monarch, very unlucky in France, come out and win at Ascot last week. And I think this could be a very, very good horse. He's far superior to Thought Worthy at Sandown, who's since shown the form in a good light. Even though Joseph O'Brien went under the trees and gave away a lot of ground at Sandown, he's still quite a long way superior to Thought Worthy, and I think this is a really decent horse. Of course, we've got Camelot in the race at this stage, but the ground is soft. I think it's very much on the soft side.
Yeah, they're saying soft, heavy in places.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get a dry run through to the race now, so it might dry up a little bit. And obviously, Camelot's the one to beat, but I'm not going to come on here and tip Camelot. Everyone knows what he can do. But I would throw in a query about whether he'd handled soft ground. They didn't think it was ideal for him in the Guineas. When it's probably better ground than it's going to be on Saturday. So, but we know that Imperial Monarch does handle soft, heavy ground because that's what it was like. It's almost unraceable when he won at Sandown, so that's no problem for him. I think he's a Group 1 winner in waiting, this horse, and I'm going to be bold and go for Imperial Monarch. So,
Imperial Monarch each way or on the nose?
Okay. Well, it wouldn't surprise me, put it this way, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a shock. I really think this is a decent horse. I don't know why they left it out of Epsom. It might be because they know he's a decent horse as well and they wanted Camelot to win the Derby. I don't know, but it was disappointing that he didn't get his chance at Epsom. He gets his chance here. Let's see how good he is. But on his favoured surface, he could well put it up to the favourite.
All right, and John Ox is another trainer who's got a couple in here. He's got 2 in. Born to See, he's stepping up in trip here, but and Ox says he's taking a bit of a chance with him, but he stayed on really well last time. Looked like he might need further.
Yeah, he did. I mean, to an extent, I just think this horse is a victim of his breeding, really, to be honest. We're expecting great things with him because it's, you know, out of Urban Sea, that great line, See the Stars and all those other horses. And it's just not quite to be with this horse. He, you know, showed a lot as a 2-year-old when he won, and he's shown a bit of promise as a 3-year-old, but he's never going to live up to his illustrious relatives. And it's a bit of a shot in the dark running over this trip. On this kind of ground. He's by Invincible Spirit, who's you know, not very well known for producing middle distance horses. So it's a bit of a risk, but he's got nothing to lose, I suppose.
And Ox also sends out Akeed Mafid, promising 2-year-old last year and making a seasonal reappearance.
Yeah,
well, may not be quite right for him though.
No, it's a hard task to come back on your first run back as a 3-year-old and take on Camelot. Good form as a 2-year-old, second in the Beresford, although the winner of that, David Livingston's, I don't know what's happened to him this season, that form doesn't look particularly good now. And you saw that was when he was second in the Beresford, it was very testing ground, so maybe that's another query as well. There'll be other days for him. I do think he's a good horse, but not this day.
So that's Imperial Monarch to win the Irish Derby on Saturday evening at the Curragh.